Radio and Weasel were the undisputed kings of East Africa music from the mid-2000s through the early 2010s, consistently topping charts, sweeping prestigious awards and delivering hit after hit that defined a generation. Their influence and success during that era remained unmatched, but with fame and fortune came deep challenges, proving that more money often means more problems.
The more money you make, the more problems you get, and jealousy and envy is just something that comes with the territory, man.
Their career was marked by intense rivalries, including a bitter fallout with their meta Jose Chameleone.
So how's your relationship now with Chameleone?
We are on honeymoon. There is no beef, nothing. It's all
There's no
love.
beef. It's all good.
No more beef.
Even though that some people argue that you're a bigger stars than him now?
Well, we are not talking big or small. We are all representing Uganda.
You're remaining humble.
Yeah, sure.
And one of the fiercest feuds in East Africa entertainment with Bebe. The conflict escalated to the point that even after Bebe was shot in 2010, he allegedly accused Radio and Weasel of being the masterminds. Then tragedy struck. In early 2018, Mowzey Radio died following a violent altercation at a bar in Entebbe.
Kati nagenda omukubira katerenkeera nga nina ebirala byemugamba ku Mande ekiro sanga 2 alina ebirala byemugamba teyankwata nsigala awo nga ninze ekyavaamu bawala bange ne bankubira essimu ne baŋŋamba mami mutabanyi wo bamukubye mbabuuza mutabanyi wange ani ku babiri ne baŋŋamba nti Moses bamukubye naye twesabire kuba bamukubidde ddala bubi nnyo.
Then in August 2025, Weasel faced his own dark chapter when he was hospitalized after a harrowing incident involving his wife, who allegedly struck him with a vehicle multiple times. This documentary will take you on a gripping journey through Radio and Weasel's rise to stardom, the controversies that surrounded them, and the heartbreaking loss of one of East Africa's greatest vocal talent, Mowzey Radio. Now, let's get started.
And from Uganda, Radio and Weasel again really celebrated here in Kenya. I think even more celebrated than they are back at home there.
It's too good for you. That's why you cannot notice. It takes great men to recognize great men. If you don't recognize Radio and Weasel, you are such a tiny creature.
As long as there is Root Boy, there is Radio.
Radio and Weasel were a Ugandan music duo who performed under their own label Good Life Crew. The group was made up of two exceptionally talented artists, Mowzey Radio and Weasel Manizo. Radio was known for his smooth R&B and soulful vocals, while Weasel brought an energetic fusion of reggae, raga and dancehall. Notably, Weasel is the younger brother of Uganda's legendary musician Jose Chameleone. Both artists began their musical journeys as backing vocalists for Chameleone under Chameleone's record label Leon Island Crew. During this time, they also pursued solo projects within the label, with Radio releasing songs like Jennifer and Sweet Lady, the latter becoming a fan favorite across Uganda. Weasel made his debut with Nakudata, but it was his collaboration with Chameleone on Bomboclat that truly put him in the spotlight and marked the beginning of his rise in the Ugandan music scene. As their solo projects gained airplay, Radio and Weasel began to feel that they were destined for more than just being Chameleone's backup singers. In 2007, they made a bold move, leaving Leon Island to form their own group. They named themselves Radio and Weasel under a larger musical collective known as the Good Life Crew.
I met Radio when I was still a backup vocalist for my big brother Jose Chameleone. We guys lived together in the same house. That made us like more than friends, two brothers. We decided, I was like, like, we need to do something for ourselves. We need to sing our own songs. We should stop backing Chameleone. We need to make money.
Their departure, however, sparked tension with Chameleone, who felt betrayed by the way they left his camp without his permission, and especially hurt by his brother's decision. This fallout led to one of Uganda's most talked about musical beefs, with both camps releasing diss tracks to prove their dominance. They forcefully broke away from Leon Island without my permission, so as they made it a point to prove how good and independent they were to me. I also had to show them that I am the teacher, Chameleone said in an interview.
At that time, we were working together with Chameleone, but after some little time, we had some kind of heated situations, so somehow we fell apart.
In their early months as a duo, Radio and Weasel released several songs that didn't gain much traction. However, everything changed with the release of Nakudata, a powerful song with an infectious melody and heartfelt lyrics. The track quickly spread across Uganda and the continent, transforming Radio and Weasel into household names and propelling their career to new heights. After Nakudata, Radio and Weasel just kept dropping gems. However, their journey wasn't without drama. In 2008, the duo released one of their most talked about songs, Zuena. The track was dedicated to Bebe Cool's wife Zuena Kirema, amid swirling rumors that Mowzey Radio had once had an affair with her. To make matters worse, the music video featured a light-skinned lady who closely resembles Zuena herself, sparking a storm of gossip across Uganda's entertainment scene. Bebe Cool was furious. In retaliation, he dropped a fiery diss track titled Cartoon and Baboon. According to him, Cartoon represented the slender Mowzey Radio, while Baboon referred to Weasel, whose broad face and darker complexion he claimed fit the name perfectly. But when exactly did this feud begin? Let's rewind. Long before Zuena hit the airwaves, tension was already brewing. Back when Radio and Weasel was still part of Jose Chameleone's Leon Island crew, they crossed paths with Bebe Cool and his wife at a nightclub. At the time, Bebe Cool and Chameleone were bitter rivals, and the encounter quickly turned ugly. According to Bebe, Radio blocked their path at the entrance, and in the heat of the moment, Bebe slapped him to the ground. The altercation ended with Bebe Cool reporting the incident to the police, and Radio and Weasel spending a night in custody. Humiliated but unbroken, Radio chose not to fight back with fists, but with music, his most powerful weapon. The result, Zuena. From that point on, the relationship between Bebe Cool and the Good Life crew completely collapsed. When Bebe was shot by a police officer in 2010, he even went as far as to accuse Radio and Weasel for orchestrating the attack. The duo were briefly summoned by police for questioning. Efforts by the Federation of Uganda Musicians to reconcile them, including appeals for Radio and Weasel to visit Bebe Cool in hospital, failed miserably. The Good Life crew allegedly told the committee, "We don't care whether he dies or not. Why would we feel sorry for Bebe Cool? Where were you when he was stamping us like we were kids? He disrespects us, so we cannot respect him." Years later, in 2018, after Mowzey Radio's tragic death, Zuena finally broke her silence about the long-standing rumors. She denied ever having any romantic involvement with Radio, saying she hadn't even known who he was until he sang Zuena. "I have never dated Mowzey Radio. When Bebe and Radio had personal issues, he decided to sing about me in order to make Bebe feel bad. But before the song came out, I had never heard of him." Still, one can't help but wonder, why did it take her so many years to finally clear the air? But then again, what do I know? That same year, 2008, the Good Life crew teamed up with Blue 3 on the hit single Where You Are. While working on the track, Mowzey Radio formed a personal bond with Lilian Babazi, one of Blue 3's members.
Then of course I was already singing by that time in Blue 3, and obviously music always brings artists together, so we ended up meeting more and more often, and I guess one thing led to another.
Their relationship was a roller coaster, on and off until 2015, when they finally separated due to infidelity and constant fighting. During their time together, they had 2 children, a son Asante and a daughter Izuba. To learn more about this relationship, relationship, check out our video on Blue 3, where we explore it in greater depth. In May 2008, Radio and Weasel released their debut album Nyambura to critical acclaim. Alongside the chart toppers Nakudata and Zuena, the album features several other standout tracks. Radio and Weasel kept their momentum going strong from 2018 to 2009, releasing hit after hit. That year, they dropped their second and arguably most successful album to date, Bread and Butter, featuring chart-topping tracks such as Following the release of Bread and Butter, critics began to question whether the duo could maintain their dominance in Uganda's ever-changing music industry and deliver another project as exceptional. In response, Radio and Weasel released Ngenda Maaso, a song that not only served as a confident reply to their doubters, but was also interpreted by many as a subtle jab at their former mentor Jose Chameleone. The track became an instant hit across Uganda.
Is I'm moving forward, because we had a lot of talks back home. This one is saying that they're not going to make
do this,
you cannot achieve it. Yeah. They're not going, they cannot make any other big hit. And then boom, there is Maaso
moving forward like a soldier.
Another track that stirred conversation that year was Ability, a fiery collaboration with Rabba Daba. The song's aggressive lyrics led to claims that it incited violence against Bebe, particularly through Radio's verse. From their debut album Nyambura, Radio and Weasel established a remarkable tradition of releasing an album every single year. This is an achievement that takes many artists years, sometimes even a decade to accomplish, with some never managing to release a full album at all. It's a true reflection of their relentless work ethic and deep appreciation for their fans. In 2010, they carried on this tradition with the release of their third studio album, Ngenda Maaso. The project features several standout tracks, including
Oh my God, I'm in trouble. I do it for you. I'm a dancing banji. This is how we do it at 10 to done with the top shatters in town. We never.
The hit How We Do It remix went on to win the Most Gifted African East video category at the 2011 Channel All Music Video Awards, further cementing their dominance in the region's music scene. Beyond the album, 2010 also saw Radio and Weasel release a number of successful singles and collaborations. In 2011, Radio and Weasel teamed up with the Ugandan girl group Obsessions for the track Pollination. They also joined forces with some of Uganda's top artists on the hit Mr. DJ. That same year, the duo released their fourth studio album Talk and Talk, which features songs such as
You make me cry, you make me cry, 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 you make me cry. But then my choosing my journey, I am missing you, my baby.
By now, it was clear that Radio and Weasel was famous for their controversies as for their music. In March 2011, they clashed with City-Alo's hitmaker Eddie Kenzo over his song Mundeke Numbe. The Good Life crew accused Kenzo of copying the concept from their own hit Talk and Talk. Musically, 2011 wasn't one of their strongest years, at least by the high standards they had already set for themselves. Similarly, 2012 was another relatively quiet year for the duo. Still, they kept fans entertained with tracks like Fantastic and Can't Let You Go. That year, they also released their 5th album, Tonjagala.
Vitamin S.
2013 marked the peak of Radio and Weasel's music career. That year, they collaborated with some of the biggest artists across East Africa and beyond, including Nigerian star Wizkid on Don't Cry and Kenya's legendary song Stress Amani on Kiboko Changu. Their song Kiboko Changu earned a nomination for Best Collaboration at the 2014 MTV Africa Music Awards, though it ultimately lost to Waichukucha by Uhuru. 2013 was indeed a blessed year for the duo. They also made history as the first Ugandan artist ever nominated for the BET Awards in the Best International Act Africa category.
And they were the first Ugandans to be nominated in the BET, and that was like a very big achievement to us. It motivated me as Shiba Karungi to work hard, and still today I'm working hard because of them, because they paved way for us as musicians.
The award, however, went to Nigerian rapper Ice Prince.
So it gives me great pleasure to announce the nominees for the Best International Act Africa. The nominees are Donald, Two-Face and Dibia, Ice Prince, Toya DeLaze, R2Bs, Radio and Weasel. And the winner is my boy, my OG, Ice.
Beyond their star-studded collaborations, Radio and Weasel dropped several massive hits that year, including what many consider their biggest song ever, Magnetic. Magnetic was so successful that in August 2013, they released a second video for it and called it Remix. Later that year, in December 2013, Radio and Weasel faced off with Bebe in one of Uganda's most iconic musical showdowns, the Battle of Champions. The Good Life duo made a dramatic entrance dressed like students heading to a boarding school, sending the crowd into a frenzy. Their mentor, Jose Chameleone, was also in attendance, proudly holding a placard that read R.E.P. Bebe Cool. While the event ended without an official winner, Bebe Cool has always maintained that he won the battle.
He sat on the Weasel side, Radio Weasel side, and he held a placard. Chameleone is a real chameleon, but I love you anyway. He held a placard saying, "Dead man, you're dead." So he's on the other side, and then he's cheering so much for Radio and Weasel. I said, okay, fine. Now that you've sat there, I said, now let me teach you and your students who Big Size is. So by the time we got to midnight, the gig began at 9. Radio and Weasel were done by midnight.
After the show, Chameleone praised both Good Life and Bebe Cool for their performances, calling it a turning point for unity in the industry. Reflecting on their past feuds, he said, "I regret wasting all the time. We could have sung better music that would have benefited this country, but we wasted it attacking each other. Anyway, that's how God does his things." The event symbolically ended the long-running beef between Radio and Weasel and Bebe Cool. Shortly afterward, Bebe Cool confirmed it on social media, writing, "I would like to officially announce the end of beef with Good Life. Let us build the music industry together." Radio and Weasel didn't release any albums in 2013, but they more than made it up for it in 2014 by dropping 3 albums, Fantastic, Obude, and Amaaso Ntunga. These albums featured a wealth of great songs. Here are just a few standard tracks. 2015, Radio and Weasel followed up with their 9th studio album Neera. Unlike their earlier albums, Neera leaned heavily on collaborations. That same year, they also dropped one of my personal favorites, Juicy Juicy. While it gained popularity in Uganda, I still think it's one of their most underrated songs in the entire East African music scene. What a masterpiece. In 2016, Radio and Weasel released their 10th and final album as a duo, Mwana Wabandi.
Plenty, plenty everywhere.
Later that year, in October 2016, the duo appeared on Coke Studio Africa Season 4, where they teamed up with the Togolese duo Tufan. Together, they delivered energetic performances of some of their biggest hits.
They talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
2017 marked Radio and Weasel's 10th anniversary in the music industry, a decade of hits, growth, and global recognition. They spent much of that year on a world tour, performing for their fans and expressing gratitude for their unwavering support despite frequent criticism.
10 years of Radio and Weasel is fire. We're experiencing our time when we've been disrespected and thought we were not going to last another week, last a month, a year, 2 years, 5 years, and now it's 10. Now we are celebrating with our fans who have been ardently there with us, supporting us, loving us, and making us go ahead and go further, So it's a big celebration. It's an anniversary kind of.
During this anniversary year, they released several notable singles, many of which featured international collaborations.
Oh my God, you attack me up in me now. Weasel man is a me a 5-star general. I'm going home to Africa. You would grow heaven said like Bonnie and Clyde.
Their track Gutamiza became their last major hit before Mowzey Radio's untimely death. With over 10 million views on YouTube, it remains their most watched music video to date.
Me, what I would change about the 10 years is how much time I've spent trying to argue and fight with people who do not agree with what I'm doing, do not agree with what I want, because I would have spent all that time in studio like what I'm doing right now, because usually there'll always be somebody out there to talk about what you have done.
Tragically, he never got the chance to make that change. On January 23, 2018, at a bar and restaurant called The Bar in Entebbe, a violent altercation broke out involving Radio. According to eyewitnesses, Radio had ordered a drink, but the bottle served to him was not full. In frustration, he poured it out, angering the manager and staff. A scuffle ensued, during which a bouncer identified as Godfrey Wamala, also known as Troy, allegedly grabbed Radio and threw him about 3 meters. Radio hit his head on a concrete surface, sustaining severe head injuries.
That time I went for a short call. Coming back, I found when they are quarreling, is money how forward our drinks, what. So someone pushed the table down. So there was like, now pushing the table down. Next is both boxing each other. So I held him, I took him outside. He was almost jerking into his car. That's when I had someone pulling him into my eye, my arms, my hands, and then turning like this. I found him down. I started screaming.
He was rushed to Case Hospital in Kampala, where he underwent brain surgery and was placed in intensive care. Despite efforts by doctors, Radio succumbed to injuries on February 1st, 2018 and was pronounced dead. The untimely death of the singer sent shockwaves across East Africa and beyond, leaving fans and fellow artists in disbelief.
It is hard. We are still coming to terms with it. We've just confirmed the loss of a very, very important person, not just to the music industry, but to the country and most importantly to our generation.
Radio's death was felt by everyone. It's something that we couldn't run away from. This is someone who had at least 5 hits playing every day on your radio station.
Following investigation, Godfrey Wamala was arrested and charged with manslaughter. In October 2019, the High Court in Entebbe found him guilty and sentenced him to 14 years in prison. Mowzey Radio was laid to rest on February 3, 2018 at his ancestral home in Kaga na Kauka, Wakiso district. Thousands of mourners attended the funeral, including family, friends, fellow musicians and political leaders. Kenya was represented by musician and politician Jaguar and comedian Chipukizi.
That this is a new beginning, and the music they did with radio will never die.
Mowzey Radio left behind 3 children, 2 with fellow singer Lilian Mbambazi and a son Theo Kingsley with a Caucasian woman named Karen. A year after his passing, however, another revelation emerged. Former Miss Uganda Dora Mwima revealed that she too had a son with the late star, a secret she had kept hidden for years.
Na kwa nini nakudata umutima guyeyo gwejosura gamanchana gamavura whoa. Rest in peace, radio. Today is your birthday. May you continue to rest in peace. Road boy says.
Radio wrote for me Nkwetaga. I learned one of the greatest things that I know right now as a musician from radio, musically. He told me how to sing love songs.
Radio was an artist. He can draw you with a pen. He could paint. He was a real talented guy.
Radio will always be remembered for his lyrics, the sweetness in the music, the emotions. Radio could make you cry by just singing. He was a genius.
After Radio's burial, a wave of humiliation and criticism began to follow Weasel. Fans and even some fellow Ugandan musicians mocked him, claiming that he was nothing without Radio and that Radio had been the true driving force behind the Good Life duo. In January 2019, the situation escalated when Radio's mother, Jane Kasubo, reported Weasel to the Criminal Investigation Department for allegedly releasing her late son's songs without the family's consent.
What's going down is not good at all, Gaetano. The mother of deceased artist Radio, Moses Sechibogo, has reported 7 local musicians, Gaetano, to CID, accusing them of duplicating and selling her late son's song. This is Radio's mother. She's called Miss Jane Kasubu. She told CID that, and I'm getting this from the dailies, that her son's songs are being reproduced and sold without family's knowledge. The accused artists who have been summoned to respond to the allegations are
who? Tell us.
Douglas Seguya, aka Weasel, who was Radio's co-singer in Good Life Music Limited.
Things didn't stop there. Around the same time, Radio's long-term partner and mother of his children, Lilian Mbambazi, also threatened to sue Weasel for using Radio's unreleased songs for his own gain instead of ensuring that the process benefited Radio's family.
I did know that Lilian Mbambazi was among those who were actually suing Weasel.
Suing?
Oh yes. Now, this happened when Weasel, under Good Life, Radio and Weasel, organized a tribute. I think it was on Friday, of listening to Moses music and Good Life and blah blah blah. They made money off it, so I think the interest was 30,000 or something like that. Well, apparently Lilian said that Weasel needs to stop using Radio's music, and Radio is like, wait a minute. When we were starting out, it was just me and the late Radio. You were not in the picture. We used to share a shirt. When you watch the video, you would see us, but you would think that we were wearing 2 different shirts. We didn't buy those 2 shirts. We would share a shirt, and that's how it was. Now that he's gone, what? Basically, I can't what?
In 2024, Weasel organized a highly successful Good Life concert celebrating the timeless legacy of Radio and Weasel. The event, held at Hotel Africana, drew massive crowds as Weasel delivered heartfelt performances of some of the duo's greatest hits. To the delight of fans, Lilian Mbambazi was also in attendance. However, controversies soon followed. Radio's mother publicly demanded that Weasel share part of the concert proceeds with Radio's family. Her remarks started heated debate across social media, with many fans accusing her of being unfair and disrespectful to Weasel. Among those who voiced their frustration was Bebe, who suggested that Radio's mother had been misled by people giving her poor advice.
A few days back, when Radio's mother, by mistake, I don't know who set her up, I don't know whether it's Radio's brother who went and told mom to go to the media and make that statement. That was the biggest blunder, and this is my take. When the duo Radio and Weasel started, it started on the platform of Jose Chameleone, giving an opportunity to 2 young artists. The one who's giving opportunity to 2 young artists is the brother of Weasel. So my take was, when I saw what Radio's mother, said, I was like, no, that's a blunder, because also Weasel has a family. Also Weasel was a friend of Radio. Also Weasel invested in time and money. No one understands, or no one understood how much much Weasel had invested into radio. So God had blessed two people. But what's the guy's name? The late brother? Frank. And Frank, if it is you who guided Mom to make that mistake and utter those words, that was the worst mistake you could ever do, because it only showed selfishness.
On August 7th, 2025, the East African entertainment scene was left in shock after news broke that Weasel Manizo had been hospitalized following a violent altercation with his wife Sandra Teta. According to reports, the confrontation occurred at Shan's bar and restaurant in Munyonyo after an argument between the two. In the heat of the moment, Sandra allegedly drove a vehicle and struck Weasel 3 times, fracturing one of his legs. She was arrested at the scene and taken to Kabalagala police station. Despite the severity of the incident, Weasel later requested her release, saying he did not wish to press charges. The same day she was freed, Sandra visited the hospital with their children to check on him. Their relationship had long been described as tumultuous, marked by frequent arguments, police reports and several separations. Yet time and again, friends and relatives intervened to reconcile them. Unfortunately, Weasel's decision to forgive his wife and request her release would come back to haunt him. In September 2025, a video surfaced online showing Weasel in tears, claiming that Sandra was mistreating him and neglecting his medical care since the car accident.
Omukazi yantomera tanzijanjabanga ko yadde n'okugulu kwonye kokka omukazi musanze mukubu omukazi kyankole omukazi anzita bambi fuluma ogende wammwe Sandra fuluma ogende wammwe Sandra fuluma ogende wammwe aha genda olabye ndoza kyendiko kamyono olabye kyendiko
Weasel, it's okay! Weasel, it's okay! Weasel, it's okay!
Yeah, you can do so much.
It's okay!
In a recent social media clip, Weasel was seen visiting his children at school, walking, smiling and looking stronger than ever. As the FFG 254 community, we are overjoyed to see him healing and spending time with his family. As we approach the end of this video, it's worth remembering that Radio and Weasel have earned and been nominated for countless awards throughout their career, far too many to list here. What we have highlighted here are just a few of their most iconic international honors. Radio and Weasel's story is one of talent, triumph and tragedy, from humble beginnings as backup singers to becoming the undisputed kings of East African music. Their journey reshaped Uganda's music scene and inspired a new generation of artists across the continent. Together, they gave the world timeless classics, songs that still play in bars, wedding and radio stations today, reminding us of a golden era in Ugandan music. Mowzey Radio's voice may have been silenced too soon, but his legacy lives on, not just in the songs he wrote, but in the hearts of millions who grew up dancing and dreaming to his music. And Weasel, despite all the personal struggles, continues to carry the torch for the good life legacy, proving that even through pain, music remains eternal. In the end, Radio and Weasel were more than just musicians. They were a movement, a sound and a story that defined a generation. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more stories celebrating East Africa's greatest entertainment legends. And if you're curious about what happened to former Ugandan gospel musician Ambassador, that's the next video I recommend. See you soon.